Hello, this is Richard Jacobs from Speakeasy Marketing. Today I'm going to talk about why you should consider authoring a book in one or more of your practice areas to make you the implied expert in the minds of your potential clients. Now, I want you to do a simple calculation. It won't be easy, but it's instructive. Think about every month or every week about how many people do you talk to, valid potential clients. When I say valid, I mean people that sound like, based on the facts they tell you on the phone, they have a case that you'd accept and make money from. Okay? Think about that number, whether per week or per month. I'm just going to throw out an average there that I hear 30. Okay? About 30 potential clients, a lot of attorneys that are doing decent will speak to a month. All right, now next question. Out of those 30, let's say, or whatever your number is, how many of those do you actually retain? Okay, and I know in your mind you're going to say to yourself, well, if I can get on the phone with them, I can retain them. Or if I can get them in the office, I can retain them. That's great. I know you're a good lawyer and all that. That's not a problem. But I want you to look at this ratio, because when I've asked well over 100 attorneys this question, a typical ratio I'll hear is about 12 out of 30. Okay? Is that good? Is that bad? It just is what it is, okay? So why would you want to author a book? The whole point is to increase that ratio, to get, instead of 12 out of 30, maybe to get 15 or even 18 or maybe even 20 clients out of 30 retained. And the whole goal of that is, what would it mean to you if you got 3 or 5 or 7 or even 8 more clients a month? It could mean a lot. It could mean 5,000 in extra retainers, 10,000, maybe even 20,000 extra a month. Now, most people don't want to do this because they think, I'm good enough, I retain people. If they don't want me at first and they heard my best sales pitch, they're never going to hire me. Well, that's just not true. People have all kinds of reasons in their mind why they might not be ready to hire you today. Maybe they're fighting with their wife and they just can't think today. Maybe coming in to see you or hiring you means they have to face their legal problem and they just don't want to do that. They just have a fear about doing that. Maybe their family is pressuring them to hire Uncle Bob, who's a lawyer. Maybe he can handle their case. They might be worried about the money they have to pay and think maybe I can get a public defender, or maybe I can just represent myself, or maybe I can just, again, get a friend to help me out. So there's all these things going on in people's minds, and there's all these reasons why they won't retain you. Not just because you're not the best, not just because they hired your competition, or, there's many, many reasons. So what does authoring a book do? Well, here's how the public perceives authors of books. They think it's really hard to do. It takes years to do it. It takes tons of expertise. It takes a lot of money. Only experts author books, and someone that authors a book actually is kind of a celebrity because they've got their book published. How many people do you know have published books, and how do you think of them? Oh, Mike has a book that's published. He's a big deal. Clients think the same thing. So if you author a book in your practice area, and I have methods that'll help you get it done painlessly and fast, literally using an interview process on the phone that takes about 90 minutes, but that's an aside. Getting this done and getting your book into the hands of clients, either by mailing it to them or emailing it to them, it's going to do several things for you. First of all, the client perceives it as a gift. They're going to say, thank you. Wow, that's great. Secondly, even if they look at it for 2 minutes, if they look at the front and back cover, if they look at maybe a testimonial or two that's included in it, if they read a couple pages, it's going to cement in their mind, wow, this attorney really knows what they're talking about. The other 2 guys or ladies I talked to, they sounded good. This guy sounds good too, but he authored a book. I think I'd better go with him. He's probably the expert, So it puts all these things in the client's mind, and it turns them in your favor. It makes you the one to hire above and beyond your competition. It makes you different. It makes you unique. And again, it gives you this authority and celebrity and credibility, and it gets you hired more often than you otherwise would. So there's really no reason not to do this. And here's some common fears that attorneys have that hold them back from doing it. I want to make sure that book is professional. People only want professional stuff. The books are fine. The way I do them, you may not want to do it this way, but I do it in a Q&A format because an interview style book is a lot more interesting, I've found, and my attorney clients have found than just a straight third-person book. Some people say, oh, the book's too thin, no one's going to read it. Some people say, oh, it's too thick, no one's going to read it. I call this the Goldilocks syndrome. Some people say, oh, people don't read nowadays. Another excuse is, well, if they want me, they'll hire me. All these excuses, it's fine to have them, but they just get in the way of you doing this. Now, the best thing to do is to pick a practice area where you want to get more clients in, where you're you're encountering some price resistance, you're encountering a lot of attorney shopping, and that's the area you want to target for your first book. You may want to do many over time, but at least that first one, that's the area you want to target. So if you want to know more about how to author a book for yourself, where it doesn't take years and we can get it done literally in 2 or 3 weeks total with about an hour of your time, contact Speakeasy Marketing, inc.com, or call 888-225-8594. Take care.